Hi, my name's Rowan Casey, and I want to talk about eternity today. Eternity is an amount of time that's infinitely long and has no beginning and no end, and many people find it hard to wrap their heads around that. Um, like when it comes to the origins of the universe, for the last 50 years or so, or since the time of Einstein, people have been saying that they basically they almost say they know that the universe had a beginning, and there's no proof of that whatsoever. Like basically, the main theory around at the moment, like Stephen Hawking talks about it, and a whole bunch of other people, is that time began at the Big Bang, and before before that, or exactly at that time, was a singularity of infinite density in which time didn't exist. And they say that this black hole singularity was just there and it had no time in it. Time didn't exist and it just exploded. A black hole is matter that's grown so cold that the electron stops revolving around the nucleus and collapses. And time is relative, of course, but Einstein also said that space is time. So for space to exist, then time must exist as well. Um, Now, there's no actual reason to think that even if there was this singularity in which time didn't exist, there's no reason to think that it was just there and there was nothing before it. For a start, um, I don't believe it did exist, and I don't believe there was ever a time when time didn't exist because there's no reaction possible without time. There's no cause that can cause the effect of the Big Bang if there's no time for any cause to happen in. For something to happen, you need time, whether it's the atom splitting or whatever. You need time for anything to happen. And the main reason why it was first put into scientists' heads that the universe had a beginning was because 50 years ago everyone was Christian and they believed the Bible when it told them that there was a beginning to the universe. So, like even Einstein was, well, he wasn't exactly a Christian, but he believed in God. So, he believed for most of his career that the universe was eternal, and then towards the end of it, because everyone was saying that the discovery of the Big Bang meant that they thought that was proof that God created the universe just like in Genesis. And God said, "Let there be light." And that was it. And there was nothing before it. So it's hard for me to try and explain what I'm saying. The the whole theory behind the universe having a beginning has absolutely no basis in science. It's all about religion, and basically the things in science which they thought made it true are proved wrong these days. Like, for example, they thought that because there was no hydrogen, they thought that if the universe was eternal, that there would be no hydrogen left in the universe because all of the hydrogen would have been converted into heavier elements like helium in the center of stars. But as we know now, when the Big Bang happened, it just converted all matter, all elements, into pure energy, which then cooled down into elements. So this has no relevance. it's not a reason to think that the universe is not eternal. The other reason why they thought it would have to be eternal is the second law of thermodynamics. Now, the first law of thermodynamics says that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only changes form. The second law says that so everything gains entropy over time and falls apart, cools down, moves towards equilibrium. And the main form of equilibrium that it seeks is a black hole, because as it cools down, the electron stops spinning around the nucleus and collapses, and that takes away 99.999% of the volume of the atom, and it just forms a black hole atom, and this is as dense as it can be, or at least I think it's as dense as it can be. And so this black hole is the form of equilibrium that the second law of thermodynamics says that it's seeking. So all these black holes are trying to form one massive black hole that contains the entire universe. But when you think about it, the entire universe made up of black hole atoms coming in to one big singularity at the speed of light, probably, with all these black holes caused by gravity to smash into each other, it's bound to split the atom and cause a big bang. There's no reason to think that this process hasn't been happening for all eternity. And big bang, big crunch, big bang, big crunch, and no reason to think that this universe is the first universe. Basically, they say that there would be some gain in entropy, and it couldn't possibly explode at the same rate every single time. But there's just as much energy and mass in the universe as there ever was, and for it to happen once, it's basically impossible for it never to have happened before, because basically that's just saying that something put it in motion, something started it off, and that's basically a belief in God. You either have a belief in God and believe that there was a beginning to the universe because God created the universe, or you believe that it was always there. That's the two theories. And anyone who says that it's not doesn't really understand what the theories mean. So the many worlds theory is the theory that I believe in, and of course, you can only believe in these things. There is no proof. So you believe in one or the other. You believe in that God created the universe, or you believe that the universe was always there and following the same patterns. I mean, Einstein said there's two equations of energy and mass. Energy equals mass multiplied by the speed of light squared, and mass equals energy divided by the speed of light squared. Now, I think every time the Big Bang happens, the second law of thermodynamics is reset, and everything has to cool down again. Everything has to start moving towards equilibrium again. It's just a total restart, and it would have to be. It has to be continuing in exactly the same way it always has. I mean, you think about it, when all these black holes smash into each other, there's only a certain point of how hot it can get, how big an explosion can be created, because like the little strings of energy and matter can only vibrate so hard. But anyway, leave your comments, tell me what you think about it.